In early June 2026, Microsoft 365 environments experienced widespread takeovers, while multiple open-source supply chains were compromised simultaneously. The Byer-Nichols threat brief for the first half of June captures the telemetry from these intrusions. The data from this period establishes a clear pattern. Attackers are discarding noisy, sequential intrusion playbooks in favor of speed and stealth. The first symptom of this change is demographic. The size and type of organizations absorbing the majority of these attacks shifted abruptly. Second, attackers are abandoning custom infrastructure. Malware is now hiding within legitimate enterprise cloud platforms. Third, adversaries are weaponizing automation to strip away time between initial access and total network compromise. We can see the immediate impact of this new model in the victim demographic data from early June. The brief recorded a drop in ransomware attacks against small businesses, a decline of 5.27% compared to the previous period. Victim size shifted. Small businesses contracted, while mid-market attacks surged 37.98%. They have capital but lack enterprise security. Correlating with this, a new group, DeadLock, claimed 21.16% of ransomware operations in its debut. DeadLock captured over a fifth of the threat landscape almost instantly by deploying a double extortion playbook that minimized time to encryption. While DeadLock captured the bulk of new volume, established groups like The Gentleman and Killin expanded their operations through tailored phishing campaigns. Concurrently, Dragonforce returned by pairing data leaks with DDoS harassment, while Lockbit maintained a presence despite sustained law enforcement pressure. By focusing operations on the mid-market, enterprise-tier adversaries are forcing organizations with limited security budgets to defend against top-tier ransomware-as-a-service operators. Beyond target selection, the most critical metric in this reporting period is intrusion velocity. The threat group Shadow Earth 066 provides an example. They have transitioned to automation-driven reconnaissance, scanning and identifying targets without manual intervention. The realization of this automated velocity is a newly identified supply chain worm known as miasma. In 105 seconds, the miasma worm compromised 73 GitHub repositories. It bypasses endpoints, attacking the developer pipeline directly. Inside, it embeds credential harvesting hooks into package registries like PyPI and NPM. Using these authenticated sessions, it moves laterally to infect adjacent network nodes. At a propagation speed of 105 seconds, human-in-the-loop response fails. The attack concludes before a security analyst can open the alert. Once adversaries achieve this rapid access, they employ new evasion techniques to ensure their persistence remains invisible. Traditional malware connects back to custom command and control servers. Modern network monitoring tools flag that anomalous outbound traffic quickly. Azure Veil is a cloud-blending espionage tool that solves this problem by discarding custom infrastructure. Attackers deliver a Rust-based loader called RustCloak via spear phishing campaigns targeting government and research sectors. This diagram compares traditional C2 traffic on the left with Azure Veil on the right. Azure Veil communicates exclusively through an Azure Blob Storage dead drop model. Because the malicious traffic looks identical to legitimate enterprise cloud syncs, it passes through security checks unhindered. The brief also details a second evasion technique, application framework abuse, demonstrated by the Fluttershell backdoor. Here is how Fluttershell operates. A disguised loader executes, hiding its payload inside Google's Flutter framework. Operating system heuristics scan the framework, but miss the hidden malicious activity. Because Flutter is cross-platform, the backdoor natively executes across Windows, Linux, and Mac OS without triggering alarms. Other tools use similar persistence mechanisms. The Argamal rat utilizes COM search order hijacking to run continuously without generating an administrator prompt. By burying malicious actions inside legitimate cloud services and application runtimes, threat actors are effectively blinding traditional endpoint detection tools. Understanding how these tools operate is the first step. Defenders must also address the specific access vectors enabling these intrusions. This matrix shows the technologies targeted by early June's actively exploited vulnerabilities. The data reveals a concentration on legacy middleware and edge devices. Adversaries are hunting for internet-facing flaws, specifically those in WebLogic and Cisco SD-WAN, that grant unauthenticated remote code execution or enable tenant escape. Threat groups like UNC 3753 and TA 4922 are exploiting these edge vulnerabilities to pivot directly into identity providers. The immediate priority for security teams is to patch KEV-listed edge flaws and restrict access to all internet-facing management ports. Furthermore, defenders must adjust their detection strategies. Security teams have to audit legitimate cloud API traffic to identify dead drop behavior, rather than relying solely on standard indicators of compromise. In an era where adversaries strike in seconds and hide within legitimate cloud infrastructure, the endpoint is no longer the primary boundary. Identity systems and cloud APIs are now the front line.